Boy, I got to tell you, that was awesome, and especially with a full band, because I haven't heard a full band in here for a while, so it was great to see that. But I love the harmonies from you guys, the guitar picking. I love your shirt, by the way, Bakersfield Sound. And it reminded me of Buck, a little bit of Dwight in there. You know, it was cool. Sounds good.
Oh, thank you.
Some of your influences?
Yeah, well, Dwight Yoakam, just like you said, and Waylon Jennings is a really big influence for me. Merle Haggard, I love all those guys.
Sure. Rebels, all Rebels, Cody Jinks.
Oh, yeah, I love
Sturgill
Cody
Simpson.
Jinks. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you? I recently read that you got a chance to open for Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
What was that like, first of all, for you? As a teenager, you're still young. You just graduated from high school. So what is that like to open for somebody so famous and so big?
Well, I was 16 at the time, and it was the show was on a Friday, and it was Wednesday. I was just sitting at my house playing video games. My dad comes in and he said, he says, "Hey, I got an email from this guy. Do you have a chance to open for Willie Nelson on Friday?" I'm like, "Are you free?" I go, "Yeah, of course I'm free. I think I can make time." And so it was the day before my first album actually came out, and so I was able to do one song acoustic before he came on, and it was just the coolest experience I've ever had.
That's cool. Did you actually get a chance to meet him and say hello and everything else? Did he give you any kind of advice?
I wish I met him.
Yeah.
No, he was in his bus smoking weed probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. He has that one song, Smoke Weed with Willie. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, what an honor, though, to be able to open up for him to say that. That's pretty cool, especially so young. Who put it together? Do you know who came together? Like, was it a friend of his or a management company, or somebody just said, "Hey, by the way, there's this great kid, Charlie McNeal, who's in town, pick him up, go get him"?
Yeah, so it was actually a guy named Bruce Howard with Otter Productions around our area. And there was a show with Chris Young that he wanted me to open for, but I already had a gig scheduled that day, and I didn't want to cancel, and so I said, "Sorry, we can't do it." So
I'm too busy playing Xbox.
and so anyway, but we remained in contact with him and said, whenever there's another opportunity, let us know, and he did, and it was a big one.
That's great. That's awesome. That's really cool. Especially now, you grew up in Central California,
yes.
just outside the San Luis Obispo area. Mm-hmm. I know that area very well. Learned how to drive in that area, Pismo Beach. Mm-hmm. So it was very fun. Tell us a little bit about your hometown. When did you start playing music and you realized that you wanted to be a country music star? Because Central California is not really the home of country music. Bakersfield, different story.
Yeah.
Which is like 2.5 hours away. But for you, when did you realize this is it? This is what I want to do?
Well, I started, it was actually the passing of a loved one. It was a guy named Nick T.G., and it was my dad's business partner, and he ended up passing away kind of suddenly. And so 3 days after that, my dad had everybody over at the house in the garage, and I'd been practicing some songs, some Jamie Johnson, some Johnny Cash, and I did that for my family, and just kind of saw their faces go from just complete sadness to little hope and a little happiness all of a sudden, just with a couple songs, and so ever since then I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's not Arroyo Grande or California is not really the hotbed of country music, but Arroyo Grande is a big farming town, and so everybody likes Waylon, everybody likes Merle Haggard.
Oh yeah.
And so starting with that kind of stuff was really helped out.
Yeah, well, when it comes to Dwight and Buck Owens and not so much Waylon, but Merle, I mean, everyone's proud to say that, wow, they're California boys, we love them. So
exactly.
There's a lot of talent in California and a lot of here, the Pacific Northwest, too. I also read, this is very cool for many people that don't know if you're watching on the stream, every year in Hollywood, California, there's this thing, it's legendary, it's an annual tradition, it's the Hollywood Christmas Parade, and you got a chance to play that. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was really fun. That kind of came about suddenly. It was about 5 weeks before it was supposed to happen, and Tim calls me and he goes, "Hey, I need a Christmas single." I was like, "Huh? Okay." And so my sister and I, we kind of buckled down and we wrote this song called "Christmas on the Phone," and it ended up being really good. And so we produced it with Steve Valenzuela down in L.A. and performed it, and it ended up, I got to dress up in a suit and everything, and I actually ate spaghetti with Dr. Oz, which was fun.
Oh, that
I didn't think I'd ever do that. And
it's presenting new challenges and new things in life that you get to do now. It's
exactly.
Fun. That's cool. I love the fact that you're like an old soul. Like you said, you opened up for, listen to Merle Haggard and Jamie Johnson and Cody Jinks. Those guys, big musical influences to your family or to you specifically?
My dad actually was the one who introduced me to Waylon Jennings.
Okay.
When I was in 8th grade, like kind of when we moved from Carpinteria, California to Arroyo Grande. And so yeah, everybody in my family loves. A lot of my family's actually from Bakersfield, and so they love Merle. They love.
Sure.
They love all those guys. So it's everybody kind of around me likes the same music as me.
I know this is a crazy question, but playing in the area 2 hours away, have you been to the Crystal Palace play there before?
I have not played there before. I did a photo shoot there.
Okay. Right outside the door, I was like, "Hey, it's me with Buck."
And but I've been there to see a few shows. I actually saw Luke Combs there right when that single came out. I can't remember the name of it now, but
I know there's so many of them. He's just hammering them out. It's crazy.
Oh, When It Rains, It Pours. That's what it was.
There it goes.
Right when
Okay,
that came
cool.
out.
Yeah. There was this guy Garth Brooks that just performed there too a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we actually played the Not Garth show, which was right next to it at a Tendler Brewing Company, and it was right next door, and we had a lot of people. I actually sang "Friends in Low Places."
Was it the same night?
Yeah, same night.
Oh
right
gosh.
there. Yeah.
Oh gosh. It would have been great to see your letters 10 feet high. Charlie McNeal in town, and then Garth Brooks is really little.
Yeah, exactly. So that ended up being a really fun show.
That's awesome. You're doing like a West Coast run now. You were in Longview a couple days ago, Seattle a couple days ago, and you're just doing a West Coast run. Where's a couple of areas that you want to hit as an artist that you've never seen before? Where do you want to go?
Well, I like to I go to Nashville a lot to to record and to meet with people, but I've never actually played my own show in Nashville before, so I think going to that area would be really cool. And San Diego is something I've always wanted to play. It's a cool
That's a cool
place.
little city. Yeah.
It's not too far away from my home, but
Speaking of Nashville, is there a bar in Nashville that you've looked at? You're like, I gotta play there.
Yep, the Stage.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yep.
It's either Layla's or the Stage. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, because Craig Campbell and Cole Swindell kind of both got their
Start there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Craig Campbell played a regular Tuesday gig there.
That's
and
cool.
He played it for like 8 years until he got discovered, and it's really cool. That'd be a really fun place to
Yeah,
play.
good for you. That's awesome. High hopes, and I hope they continue for you. That's great.
Thank you.
I know we got a legendary band in the house today playing with you, so we want to play some more music. Tonight, a show going down at the Ponderosa Lounge at 9 o'clock. So if you guys are free on a Friday night and you want to go party and have some drinks, go see our friends at the Ponderosa, and Charlie's going to be there. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time. Charlie McNeal.
Thank you guys so much.